As we welcome you back here on Moundridge Sports Network tonight, we got a pretty good game here coming up. 9-3 Berean taking on 11-2 Moundridge. Both these girls' teams are pretty well-rounded. I mean, they both have quality wins here, as Moundridge coming off their week off after the Trojan Classic just 2 weeks ago. Just kicking things off for Moundridge as there's 5 usual starters. Number 2 junior Addie Patrick, number 3 junior Cami Unruh, number 11 sophomore Hallie Hecox, number 20 sophomore Hattie Hecox, and number 24 Macy Camico. It's getting well-rounded off here. Moundridge coming off a tough loss to Heston in the Trojan Classic, but looking to bounce back against Berean. Berean's girls just came off a win against Elyria. Alright, so we're going to take a break and do the national anthem real quick.
Good evening and welcome to Moundridge High School. And tonight's part of our league basketball game between our visitors, the Berean Academy Lady Warriors, and your Moundridge.
He's getting ready to kick things off here. As Berean, pretty good opponent here. Great matchup for the Cats. They both really like to slow the game down and have it in their hands, and they also both struggle with the turnovers as well. So it should be a pretty evenly matched game here tonight. Starting out for Berean is number 1 Taylor Balzer, number 5 Ellie Beverland, number 11 Fiona Morgan, number 21 Aubrey Enzi, and then number 25 Adrian Mullins. As tipping off is Macy Kamiko. And here is the Cats' game plan. Is this little tip off to Unruh. She scored a lot on her first time down. They'd really like to go to that, as they're going to call a jump ball on the floor. So Berean will take over. As they're going to retip with 7:56 left on the clock now. As Unruh will tip this time, and she tips this down to Woltz and back out to Patrick. Her three-pointer is good, and right away we're already off to a fast start here. Addie Patrick getting things kicked off. Kamiko picks up that assist. Skip pass now as Berean trying to pressure something. Now Beverlyn takes this one out to Balzer. Balzer trying something, closely guarded by Unruh. She goes to Smith. Unruh's going to steal this one, takes this one down on the block, lays it up in traffic, and it's good. As Moundridge is out to a 5-0 lead here in the first. Driving inside now is Smith. She's short corner, passes down to Beverlyn. Beverlyn back out to Balzer. They really like to run these backdoor curls and screens, the same as the guys. Is inside here now to Enzi. Enzi down to Smith. Inside, closely guarded by Hallie. And they will call a travel on her. So turning it over again is Berean. So Moundridge back-to-back turnovers forced. Inside look now to Hecox. Hecox tries to find her sister. Berean plays in the zone here as Patrick made him pay with that first corner three that she took. And over inside to Hecox. Hecox back down to Patrick. Inside look, and she's going to turn that one over to Smith. Smith takes this one up herself now. Inside down to Beverlyn. As both these teams are just great at taking their time. They're both very patient. And they both really like inside cuts, as Unruh really likes her drives. And putting one back down and drawing the foul is number 25, Adrienne Mullins. She'll go to the line for two. 5:57 left to go in the first. One. Mullins tries to get Berean's first points of the game. Berean is 10-3, and Moundridge 11-2, so both pretty heavyweight matchup here tonight. Hecox back to Unruh. Unruh back to Hecox as she thinks about one. Now a skip pass down to Hallie. Hallie's three ball is just off the top of the iron and rebounded by Unruh. And one of the things the Cats do very well is offensive rebounds. They're very talented offensive rebounders. As there's another one, and Cammie makes him pay on a second chance opportunity. Unruh with 4, Patrick with 3, and Mullins with Berean's 1. As Unruh brings up the ball, and kind of a little bit of a dry spot for Berean. Has a long three ball here from Hecox. That one's rebounded by Hecox, so her sister gets her back down to Patrick. Patrick back to her. She finds Kamiko, who draws a triple team back out to Hecox. Hecox's three ball is just off. Has nice little rebounding there from the Cats. They're a very physical team. As they will call an illegal screen on Berean. as both teams are going to be in a zone tonight, as you'll see a lot of good opportunities inside as well. Under now back over to Patrick. Patrick thinks about a 3-ball in that corner, but passes it up for Kamiko. Kamiko shifts through the zone and will be called for a travel. Bringing up the ball now. Wildcats love this little press they run. As shifting back around. Kind of open was Beverlyn, but couldn't see her. Beverlyn back down to Veer. Veer thinks about it. Passes this one up. Balzer has this. Shifts around. Long 3-ball here from Beverlyn, and that one is just off. Under a wide open triple in the corner, and that one is just off. Almost rebounded by Kamiko, as she will force her way in there and get a jump ball call. So will be Berean's basketball. As Cats are taking a great disciplined shots, as Berean is having a tough time finding those shots. Inside now, here to Veer. Veer thinks about it, can't take one up, draws a double team from Peacocks and Unruh. As Balzer checks back out. As Unruh is going to tip this one off the ref's stomach, and she takes this one down, lobs it up. Kind of hard fall there from her, but she looks to be okay. And pressuring the ball, taking advantage of that is Berean. As Balzer comes down, fights a skip pass down to Veer. She thinks about it, steps through, puts one up short corner. That one is off. As Patrick is going to come out, and coming on is Conkling, who just got that ball roughed out of her hands. .247 left to go in the first, 7-1. As Balzer comes down with it, finds Veer. Back around, shifts back to her. Balzer tries something. Berean has not had a shot since about the first, early in the first, excuse me. And Adrian Mullins goes, and that one is good from Taylor Balzer. She breaks that little run of missed shots. And a skip pass down to Cami, almost doesn't see it. Back down to Conkling. Conkling's 3-ball is just off and rebounded by Peacocks. Peacocks back to Kamiko. She goes to Stas. Skip pass to Unruh now. Is driving inside, pushing one up. And can't finish through contact as Unruh. So one of the things here that Moundridge does very well is all the skip passes through the defense. They're very disciplined with their passes. Inside look here as Veer will travel, and checking in is Patrick and Hecox, and coming off is Unruh and Kamiko. As Mullins comes back in. Inside and around here is the Cats doing great at ball movement here, and a big 3-ball there from Hattie Hecox. As on the board is her with 3. And she comes down there, pressuring down, skip pass down, inside to her sister, but that goes off the foot of Smith, and there'll be a foul on Beverlyn. Kamiko trying to find an inside look. Been kind of quiet tonight. She's on the bench, and down to Stoss' replacement, and that one is just rattling the rim and out. 55.8 left to go on the clock as 10-3 in the first quarter. Back outside to Smith. Smith skip pass down to 21, and that was an air ball from Aubrey Enzi. Peacocks running down the floor, trying to find something. Euro steps her way through the lane, and that one's tipped out. Rebounded by the Cats. Back out to Patrick. Her three-pointer is just off. Skipping through the lane is Enzi, and that one is just off. So both these teams cannot find their way through the hoop, as the last bucket scored was about the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Patrick down to her sister. She drives through, puts up a layup, and that one is just off. Tipped down by Stoss, and that one will be Berean's ball. Balzer tips this one out, and Patrick retains possession right before the buzzer sounds. So 10-3 is your score after the first quarter, as both teams are trying to find a little bit of momentum. Been kind of a slow game so far. So we'll be back in 1 minute. As we welcome you back, as 10-3 in the second, 8 minutes left to go. And brand new quarter for both teams. Berean not finding as many disciplined shots as they need, as they want to have better ball movement, as this will be Moundridge ball. As so far for the Cats, Unruh with 4, Patrick with 3, and Hecox with 3. And Mullins and Balzer with Berean's 3 points. Hecox down to Unruh. Unruh thinks about something. Can't get a lot of open shots with this zone down to Kamiko. Skip pass down to Hecox. Hecox drives baseline. Gives this to Patrick. Patrick back out to Kamiko. She takes advantage of the mismatch, and she drives in now to Hecox. Hecox to Patrick. Patrick to Unruh. Unruh's 3 ball is good. Cami Unruh. 13-3. 7:26 left to go in the second. As fans are just now starting to file in. Balls are down to Enzi. Enzi back down inside to Veer. Veer puts this one up, and that one is just off, rebounded by Hecox. And she will get called for a carry. Balls are back around to Smith. Berean with some nice ball movement. Likes to run this dribble drive offense, similar to the Cats, as Beverlyn picks up her dribble. Has played some great on-ball defense here at Cats despite their zone. Wilder checks in and driving inside. Great talking from the Cats. They were very vocal on defense, especially Hattie Hecax as Unruh gets shaken up. Falls out of her zone, and this one is going to be thrown out by Balzer. So great intensity from the Cats so far, up by 10 here. 13-3, 6:12 left to go in the second. Trotting her way down is Unruh as this nice little 2-3 zone they play with a man up front as Hecax wide open in the corner for a triple, and that one is off. Rebounded by Beverlyn, and she saves this one and scoops down to Balzer. Balzer is looking, finds a backdoor cut with Smith. She takes this over Hecax, and that one is off. Wrestled away by Mullins, and Mullins back out to Balzer. Almost rebounded there is Hecax, as the Cats are actually in a 1-3-1 defense. Smith back around to Balzer. Balzer with a deep shot 3-ball, and that one just rattles the rim. And a foul will be called as Hecax with a nice physical rebound, as Mullins picks up her first personal. As there will be a timeout by Berean. This will be a full timeout, and so Cats trying to apply the intensity, and Berean is trying to pick up some momentum. This is kind of a slower game of some sorts, as trying to find something in the works, as overall I think the biggest thing the Warriors could do is just find more disciplined shots. They really haven't done a great job in the first quarter. They've done a lot better job in the second there with Smith's back corner layup that she attempted, and Balzer's open three. I mean, this team is good. They just need to start getting warm if they want to win this ball game. As coming out of the break here, Cats are cruising, but they should imply more intensity. I'm sure that's what Coach Huxman talked about, is being a little bit more smart with the ball, as this 2-3 zone inside is kind of killing them with their not able to drive into Kamiko. Skip pass down to Hecax. Now that 3-ball just whiffs and rebounded by Berean. Balzer trying to find someone, setting up her offense. Will find Beverlyn on a dribble drive, as Smith with it now. And Unruh playing very disciplined defense there, not biting on a lot in this 1-3-1. And the reason this 1-3-1 is working so well is because of Unruh. She's staying very disciplined. She's not jumping too much, as Moundridge will miss the defensive rebound and rebounded by Berean before going out. As checking in the game is Conkling and Stoss. Coming out is Hecax and Patrick. As lobbing this one through, almost intercepted by the Cats. As Garcia now power dribbles her way through, jumped up by Unruh, and she takes this one away. Looks for a left-handed finish, and she will. Cami Unruh on the board now with 9 points. As they will call a illegal screen on number 35, Elena Garcia, her first personal. As 15-3 now, Moundridge is starting to really take control in the driver's seat before this first half ends. As coming on is the freshman Ryerson in exchange for the junior Kamiko. As Ryerson down to Hecax, who whiffed on her last three-pointer as she drives inside, hands down to Conkling. Conkling back out. She takes a three of her own, and that one is just off the lip of the rim. As they will call that, and over the back on Ryerson. Skip pass over to Smith. Smith back to Beverlin. Beverlin to Balzer now. Once again, great movement by Berean, just poor shot selection. Drives inside now is Mullins, and Mullins' shot will be off and rebounded by Berean before it goes out of bounds. It's a pretty clean game so far. Moundridge with 2 fouls, Berean with 3 in total. Down low look inside now for Conkling. Conkling wide open, takes a 3 ball, and that one is just off, so she falls to 0 for 3 for tonight. She's a 28.6 3-point shooter. And driving inside now is Unruh, escapes through 2 defenders, closely guarded is Berean, but that does not matter. She lays that one through for her 11th point of the game. Patrick and Patrick are set to check in. Inside down low to Balzer. Balzer to Smith. She drives short corner, puts up a layup, and will be blocked before Mullins takes the rebound and fouled by Stoss. As going to the line is number 25, Adrian Mullins. As Beverlin and Enzi will talk it over in the backcourt. And both of those shots are off, so 17-4 remains your score. Conkling drives in looking for a foul and doesn't get it, but she gets her own rebound, rips through, power dribbles once, takes one over, tries to step through, and they will call a reach on Balzer now. As that's our first personal. Driving inside now is Patrick. Patrick to Conkling. Conkling back out to Ryerson, and one of the things Cats are going to do is take open shots like this as Ryerson's 3-pointer misses. Swirled the iron and it's good. Trying to get rebounds here as Ashton Patrick bangs in that triple. 20-4 now, 1:57 left to go in the second. Cats are starting to get some big-time momentum. As Unruh with 11, Addie Patrick with 3, Hattie Hecox with 3, and Ashton Patrick with 3. Inside now to Balzer. Balzer skip passed over to Wilder. Wilder back around. Berean again, nice ball movement. As Veer thinks about a 3-ball, tries it, does not get it. Rebounded by Patrick. Patrick skip pass over to Unruh. Unruh's going to trot through the lane for 13. 1:29 left to go in the second, 22-4. Enzi over to Balzer. Balzer back to her. Wilder now finds Enzi. Enzi back to Balzer. Berean driving in, down by a considerable amount. Intercepted by Hecox as she takes a skip pass down, almost hits Unruh in the head as Patrick retains it and back down to Unruh. As they will call a carry on Cami. As head coach Kristen Wiebe is not happy with her Berean Warrior play so far. So, I mean, overall they're 10-3, excuse me, and they look to continue the success, but overall they look like they just have not played with each other for this whole game. There's no chemistry, there's no gelling together right now. They haven't hit a groove. As Wilder takes a triple, and that one is off. Rebounded by Unruh. The whole head of steam now, trying to find something, and she will for her 15th point. Unruh, who's averaging about 15, and they will call Moundridge ball. 24-4 now, 21.4 left to go on the clock. As Thiessen has that first foul. Unruh finding it. Kamiko cuts through the lane, puts up a right-handed finish, and she will get that to go off the top part of the glass. 26-4 now, 3 seconds left. 1 second, they need a shot here, and they will not get one off. So great defensive showing from the Cats so far. 26-4. Moundridge creeping in on falling inside now to 12-2, and Berean falling to 9-4 at this rate. As we'll be back for second half action here on Moundridge Sports Network.
As we welcome you back to Moundridge Sports Network here for action of Berean versus Moundridge girls. 26-4. Moundridge came out of the half. Full head of momentum as Berean is just kind of hanging on with 4 points tonight. Need to take some more disciplined shots. Unruh is leading the way with 15 tonight. Patrick, Hattie, and Ashton all have themselves a nice pair of threes. 26-4 is your score. Enzi drives inside over to Balzer. Balzer back around trying to find something and find Enzi. Enzi back to Mullins. Mullins back to a wide open Beverlyn. Her triple is just in and out of the rim. So Berean again just cannot find themselves to put the ball through the hoop. As Unruh will trot up the floor. Drives baseline as Hecox puts one up and will get an and one, rattling the rim there. 28-4 is your score as she moves to 5 points tonight. As Patrick will talk it over with Miss Huxman as Hecox makes that free throw. Coach Huxman, excuse me. And skip pass down to the cheerleaders as 29-4 now is your score. Moundridge coming out of the half with a nice 3-point play from Hecox. She gets her 6th point from that one. Inside to Unruh. Unruh over to Hecox. Hecox skips it over, and that's going to be intercepted now by Enzi as she brings the ball up the floor. Finds Balzer down to Beverlyn. Balzer trying to get this ball back, and she will. Moundridge is still in this 1-3-1. Stepping up now is Balzer, and she will miss. Rebounded by Kamiko. Kamiko now to Unruh, and they will call another carry on Unruh. So this official really likes to call his carries. He's got to be careful about that. Mullins is going to be stripped away by Unruh. Unruh drives through looking for her 17th point, and she will get that to go. Unruh again proving that she's the star of this team here. She's averaging 15.2 points a game. Looking to boost her averages tonight, which she's very much on pace to do. Driving down is Mullins. She loses the ball, gets her own rebound, puts one back over to Smith. Smith's shot just off, rebounded by Kamiko before she loses it, and Berean takes over again. Inside, catch high, shoot high. It's number 35, Elena Garcia, and she will airball. Unruh over to Patrick. Patrick back to her. Skip pass down to Hecox. Hecox finds a cutting Hecox, and she will travel. (31-4), 5:37 now in the third. Moundridge is looking to cruise to 12-2. Balls are looking out. Berean has not scored since the first quarter. As inside now to Smith. Smith step backs. Is going to fight a cutting Garcia, and she will again miss. Smith with her own rebound before she puts this one over the basket to Hecox. As they will call another carry on the Cats. inside now to Balzer. Balzer over to Veer. Veer out to her. Back over, closely guarded by Conkling and stripped away by Kamiko. Kamiko skip pass down to Unruh, and she will score. .4:30 now left to go on the clock. 33-4. Skip pass over to Smith. Smith thinks about it, and you get called for a travel and frustrated. Cox rips through, is going to stop her foot before giving it to his sister. Goes back down to Unruh to Conkling. She sidesteps her way through, puts through the lane, is going to get this one out. Unruh flies down and they're trying to get a tough physical rebound inside, and she can't. 30-55 left to go, 33-4 now. Driving inside is Veer. Veer back around. Closely triple team. She gets her way out of it, and Berean scores for the first time since the first quarter. As 33-6 now is your score. So finally breaking the scoring drought is Berean. As Hecox will get called for a jump ball there. Beverly closely on her. Skip pass down to Beverlyn. Beverlyn right back around to Veer. Veer's three-pointer is just off, rebounded by Conkling. As Conkling driving through, stopping around. Shifts over, drives through, puts one up, and will get the bank to go in. 2:53 left to go now as Mackie Conkling is on the board for the first time tonight. As half timeout by Berean. As back around inside is Balzer, and she will fall over before she gets her point. So Berean starting to get a little bit of a foot on the ground here. As Patrick tries a three-pointer herself, and it will be good. Addie Patrick all chords here with 6 points tonight. As Balzer picks up her fourth. Wilder down to Balzer. She drives through, puts one up, blocked by Conkling. As that will stay Berean's ball. As catching and shooting high is Adrian Mullins before that one is good. So she picks up her first point since the first quarter. As she opened the game for Berean with her free throw. Back down to Patrick. Patrick thinks about it, passes it up for her sister. Her three-pointer is just in and out, almost rebounded by Stas. As Balzer runs to the lane here, rebounded by Wilder. Wilder out to Enzi. Enzi's three ball is just off, rebounded by Berean. Again, here's Mullins, and Stoss will be called for the foul. As Mullins and Balzer have all Berean's points. Mullins with 6, Balzer with 4. As Smith putting one down, and will get it to go, and will go to the line for one. So Berean's starting to gain a little bit of more momentum as Smith picks up her first points of the game and hoping to make that a 3-point play. Moundridge, not the greatest fourth quarter team, averaging about 9.4 points in the fourth, as they were up pretty considerably against Hillsborough in the first game that they played and ended up only winning by 3, but did improve the second round of the Trojan Classic. As Smith's free throw is good. Kamiko bounces around, picks her pivot up, gets away with that. 1:21 left to go in the third, 38-13. Balzer now skip pass over to Wilder, and that one will fall out of her hands. 1:08 left to go in the third, 38-13. Heatcock's back down to her sister as she's at the wing looking for something, and they're approaching the fourth quarter, and she puts that three ball up, and that one is just off the lip of the rim as Enzi will sit on the ball there, and a jump ball, and Moundridge will retain possession. As Patrick's three ball is just off, and they will call in over the back on Heatcock's. 37.8 left to go now in the third. Skip passed over to, it's number 21, Enzi, as they will throw that one out. So just as they're starting to pick up some momentum, they start losing that momentum. As Moundridge, one of the things they do really good is getting a hold of a lead and just sticking it, as they got a lot of blowouts this season with a 23.8 point differential. So they do win by a considerable amount. Anu drives in and tries to lay that one in, and that one is no good. As Balzer shifts back around, skip pass over to Wilder. Wilder back to Beverland, back to her. She puts one up at the buzzer, and that one is off. And Heatcock's will throw this one out to the mats. So that'll do it for our third quarter. 38-13, 1 minute left to go in the fourth. As we'll keep you back, as Berean here, 8 minutes left in the game. They look to come back as they did get a little momentum in the third quarter. Remember, they just scored 4 points in the first half, so them having 13 now is pretty big stuff. As Balzer now stops, pops at the elbow, and that one is just off. Rebounded by Berean as Beverlin picks it back up and walks it back out. As Unruh thinks about it, puts one up for 21, and that one is good. Cami Unruh with 21 points tonight. (40-13) now. Moundridge starting to run away as they've been all game, and putting that one up, and there it goes. Berean's luck swirling the iron and out. Not got lucky tonight. Heatcock's back down to Unruh at the whisker now. 31. Heatcox tries at the short corner and will get it to go. 42-13 as Hallie Heatcox gets on the board for the first time. Smith thinks about it, been back out. Again, great defense here played by the Warriors. Beverlin now back up top. Time winding down, 6:30 left to go. As that one is just off the lip of the rim, rebounded by Smith, and she will put that one up. Avery Smith is going to get that one to go. She's got 5 tonight. She had a 3-point play in the third quarter now. Kamiko is going to get that one to go as she's on the board now with 4. Cats have 7 different scorers tonight, so a little bit of everybody has gotten a piece of the action. As Moundridge girls looking to go on a sweep of Berean JV1. And the varsity girls are 5 minutes away from doing the same here. As timeout by Huxman, 30 seconds. As we're welcoming back to Moundridge Sports Network, 44-17, 5:46 left to go in the fourth. Moundridge is looking to do some damage here as Unruh takes a 3-ball, and she will get that to go on the Kawhi Leonard bounce, as that one is good, as she's got 24 tonight now. As Conkling now puts one down, and that one is rebounded now by the Cats again. So the offensive rebounds are one of those things that are not going away, no matter the score. As back around here is Wilder, and back to Beverlin. Beverlin scoreless tonight, which is shocking considering her contributions to the team. as that will be a foul. As that one is good. So 47-19 now, as Garcia is on the board with 2. As Conklin now with it, trying to get something, as they're going to call another carry, as this official loves his carries. Cats are cruising on, looking for another victory here. Thank you for tuning in. Stick around for a pretty special halftime segment, as they're going to be doing a little recognition of something pretty important. As back around here is Enzi. Enzi throws one out, rebounded by Ryerson, stripped away by her, and that would be a foul on her. Patrick down to Durst. As Conkling will go to the line with a running clock, so that'll do it. As Conkling is going to get on the board with that free throw made, so she's at 3 tonight. We want to thank you for tuning in. Stick around for halftime. 48-19 is your score. And that'll do it. 49-19. Unofficial scoring, we have Cami Unruh with 24, Addie Patrick with 6, Hattie Hecox with 6, Ashton Patrick with 3, Mackie Conkling with 4, and Hallie with 2, and Macy Kamiko with 4. Thank you for tuning in, and stick around for the halftime announcements, as we'll be back for action of the boys.
show your support for our Kansas Shrine Bowl All-Star visit, www.kansasshrinebowl.com/support. Thank you, Shriners, and congratulations to Henry Heathcock, 2025 Kansas Shrine Bowl Red Team All-Star.
And we welcome you back to Moundridge Sports Network for action of the boys' Berean versus Moundridge game. I'm excited for this one here tonight. Berean also 9-3, just like their girls. The Cats riding high off of a huge win against Heston and Garden Plain these last 2 weeks here. 13-0 for Moundridge, looking to come off with an absolute bang. As coming out on top are the Cats from a huge Trojan Classic win. As starters for the Cats are the usual 5, Knitz, Matamog, Hecox, Churchill, and Dixon. As starters for the Berean Warriors, number 14, Emery Kukala, number 10, Mason Balzer, number 44, Nolan Swayze, number 12, Silas Nord. Should be a good matchup here tonight. I think Berean's keys to win here is going to be dominate the glass. You know, you got to come out here, slow the Cats down, dominate the glass, force turnovers, pressure the Cats. The Cats have not responded well to a lot of pressure inside too. You saw last time the Trojan Classic hasn't really put a lot of pressure on Moundridge, and Moundridge's offense only scored 30 points. But credit to their defense, as Heston also only scored 30 points. And I think if you're Moundridge, your keys to win should be execute your plays, dominate the glass, and don't jump on passes in their defense. Berean runs a zone, and they will also try to combat that. They're really patient with the ball. Berean loves to take their time offensively.
Yeah, Carson, I think patience is going to be a key term for both teams defensively and offensively, because we're going to need to see composure and the right looks inside. Smart plays to make or break this game.
As tipping this one out is Heath Churchill, back down to Hecox. Hecox coming off the Kansas Shrine Bowl selection that we showed at halftime. As Churchill down to Hecox. Hecox drives inside, trying to spin around, tipped away by Berean before he gets his own turnover back. Cats so disciplined with the ball. Kaiser Knitz also, who just missed last week's game against Garden Plain due to some sickness, but he looks to be better now. As Hecox drives down, finds Dixon inside, and he misses his finish. Rebounded by number 40, Randall Thiessen. As Kukala drives up the floor, trying to find something. Like you'll see tonight, Berean really likes to stay patient, as this one is a nice bucket there from number 20, Harrison Geiger.
That's a nice offensive look for Berean to start their ball game, that mid-range pull-up.
As Knitz now over to Hecox. Hecox finds Matamog coming around, closely guarded by Geiger. As Knitz over on top now, down to Hecox, as they're going to run this interesting defensive sets here. They replace a lot, as Churchill almost fumbles the ball there, down to Knitz now. Knitz drives through, finds Hecox up top. Moundridge with some nice ball movement here. Churchill driving through, puts one up, and will get called on the floor. A foul's on number 40, Randall Thiessen.
That's a nice aggressive take by Churchill. Always finding a way to get off the glass.
As last time these two teams played was in our homecoming last year, as Dixon gets a nice bucket there, and that game was kind of a slow start. Moundridge was actually down in the third quarter, heading into the fourth versus Berean before Bear Model Mark had his 14 points in the fourth quarter. And putting that one up is Kukala, and that one will be off. He gets his own miss and hands down to Thiessen. Thiessen puts one up and is off. Another offensive rebound here for Berean, and they will get that to go. Silas Nord.
That was a great way for Dixon to respond last offensive possession, making up for his mistake early on.
As Knitz trying to tip that one in, misses the rebound. Kukala presses the floor. As finds a cutting Swayze. Swayze puts one up, and that one is good. So Berean is off to a nice little start here. Timeout Moundridge, half timeout by Knitz.
You know, Connor, coming into this, we know it was going to be an aggressive game from the start. Both teams like to look to score very fast and just on their own pace, so they control the game. But an early timeout from the Wildcats, but they got to stop letting those easy looks inside happen. You know, both Berean players are starting to get off the glass. And if they don't mitigate those looks, it's just not going to be a great game for them. And we'll see that as we get rolling.
As Knitz driving down now, 6-2, starting out kind of slow. As Cats have been trailing in a lot of games late, trailed 7-0 versus Heston and 9-0 against Sterling. And they came out victorious on both. Dixon doing a great job at sealing down. Already has 2 points tonight. Modelog now over to Hecox. Hecox to Knitz. Knitz to Dixon. Dixon finds it, cutting Knitz. He pushes through the lane and will get called for a travel.
And another mistake from the Wildcats would give the Warriors a chance to score here. It's picked off by Modomod to send it the Wildcats' way. Modomod will drive in, will stop and pop at the free throw, and it'll just be hard off. And Churchill would come away with his own rebound. Hecox looking. Churchill would get the handoff. He'll try and get downhill. They're just start slowing it down. Dixon at the wing.
As Moundridge starting to get hyped. The den is starting to rock, led by the Dridge squad, as Dixon now pushes down, trying to find something, and he gives this down to Hecox. Hecox to Churchill. As that will be a charge on Churchill. So kind of the similarities here between this and the Trojan Classic final with early offensive fouls, as Churchill will pick up his first foul. Inside back over here is Nord. Nord back around to Thiessen. Thiessen back to him. Over inside is Sweezy. As tipped away by Adolph, he gets his rebound, and then checking in for the Cats was was Churchill and Dixon. Coming on with Schmidt and Adolph. Schmidt power dribbles back out to Hecox. Hecox takes a big-time three ball, and it's good. Henry Hecox on the board with 3.
A big pass.
Checking into the lineup for the Warriors, number 10, Mason Balzer, number 24, Friesen, and number 42, Alex Johnson.
And they'll focus on the call now.
Inside now is Sweezy back out to Friesen. As Friesen over to Jansen. Jansen back to him, and he will travel. Knitz now right around top, up to Modomog. Modomog back to him. Adolph now looking over, finds Schmidt. Schmidt power dribbles his way through, loses the ball, picked up by Friesen. And Friesen back out to Balzer. And putting that one up is Berean, and they will miss their opportunity for an offensive rebound. rebounded by Balzer. Deep three from Balzer, and that one is just off. Skip pass down to Knitz over him. Knitz rises up and will score. Inside here for Balzer. Balzer goes around. And tipped away by Adolph, who takes a hand off of his face. He goes around, puts one up, high arcing layup, and that one is good. Keppel Adolph on the board now with 2. Churchill will check back in the game as coming off now will probably be Adolph. Balzer now with it, finds Friesen. Schmidt takes a gamble. Inside, tipped away by Maltamargi, tries to go, and he will get called for a foul. 9-6 now, 48.6 left in the first. Inside, lobbing up to Churchill, and he throws it down. Churchill doing what he does best with the lob.
It's a great done from Churchill.
Inside here for Sweezy, and he will score on that one. Let's see, 6 points tonight. Adolph's shot is off. 11-8. Berean competing nicely as Churchill throws down a nice lob.
And that's a great start for the Wildcats, coming up 3 after the quarter. They turned their game around. They were starting down in the first little bit, but then they figured it out, and they really got going. So we'll see how the rest of the game goes for here. 11-8 is your score. Walking into period 2 of the ball game.
As we're welcoming back to Moundridge Sports Network here for action of the boys' game. Inside now to Sweezy. Sweezy back around. Kukula now. Unruh. Dixon now thinks about a 3. Pump fake, gets his man a bite. Back around to Maltamar, just scoreless today. Tie ball game now. Peacocks. Churchill tries a 3 ball, and that one is just off. Churchill, who struggles with threes, only 1 made 3 all season. Kukula now. Back over, takes a winning reverse, and he scores. Emery Kukala on the board with 2. Audemars tries a 3-pointer, stopping and popping, gets his own board. On the board with 2 now. Putting it around, gets it out, puts it on the floor, trying to find something, rises up, puts it on the floor. On the board with 4, leads the Cats and points tonight.
That's a good finish by Dixon, getting off the glass there and really getting to his moves. And, you know, we're going to see that a lot from Sweezy tonight, get into his fadeaway, like really close to the basket, because they're a very fundamental team and they stick to their game.
Sweezy now has 8 tonight. Back around Dixon, lobbing one up, draws a triple team. Disciplined shot from Zach Dixon, and he's got 6 tonight. Showing his experience here, patiently waiting for his opportunity. Unruh back over to Nord. Nord back to him. He drives through, puts up a left-handed finish, and it's good. We're going back and forth here. Dipping back down, just behind the back, throws one up as Modelmark rebounded by Knitz. Knitz takes one through, steps through, and that's going to be a missed layup from him. Rebounded by 22, Jace Unruh. Tie ball game here, 4:12 left to go in the second. Driving down, looking for something is Sweezy, and he will miss his layup over Dixon. Dixon leading the starters and team in points. As Churchill will kick this off of his foot, and that will be Berean ball. As timeout by Moundridge, 17-17, 3:58 here.
Sweet up.
As we're walking back. As that one will be last touched by Adolph. As head coach Lewis Wiebe looks to get his squad nice. Kukala finds Sweezy back in. Sweezy shifts around, puts one up, and will go to the line for 2. Schmidt draws a foul. That's his first personal.
Rebound by Schmidt. He's going to give the ball to Hecox.
Hecox now brings up the ball. Looking for something. Kukula closely on Hecox. And will get called a foul on Kukula. Knitz shifts over and crosses him up and putting it through. Kaiser Knitz puts Mason Balzer in a spin cycle.
That's a great move from Knitz, seeing him shift around his defender.
Cats are kind of in a zone here in this 1-3-1. Traps up top, back over now is Balzer. Balzer tipped away by Churchill. Hecox has this now. Pushing down the floor, Euro steps his way through over Kukula and will score 21-18. Moundridge up. Hecox with 4 tonight. Knitz backs his man down, puts a nice little behind the back pass up before that is stolen. Skip pass down to Balzer. Balzer back to Kukula. Back to him. Balzer thinking about it. Finds a cutting wide open Randall Thiessen for 2 points there. 1 point lead for Moundridge. Hecox shifts around to Churchill. Churchill back to Schmidt. 1 point ball game now. Churchill goes up and will put up a layup. 23 to 20.
By Churchill.
Six different scores for the Cats tonight and 5 different scores for Berean, so the ball has been shared a lot. Modelmug only with 2 points. If he can get active, similar to how he did last game. Churchill now on a fast break. And he will put one up and get called for a travel. Finds a cutting downside, blocked by Churchill. Back to Nord. Nord now trying to find something. Down to Balzer. Balzer over to Sweezy. Drives through, tipped away by Hecox, picked up by Knitz. Knitz drives down and will be fouled by Kukula. And Kukula will come off the floor. That's Kukula's second. Modelmark trying to find something, steps back, thinks about it, closely guarded. You can tell Berean's game plan coming in is to face guard Modelmark. They really worked on closing out. They've done a nice job so far, and Schmidt will go to the line for 2. Schmidt's first is good, so on the board is Leighton Schmidt. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Closing up, 35 seconds left to go. 25-20 as Moundridge is going to steal this, gaining some momentum. Churchill rises up and puts that through using his length to his advantage. 7-point lead for Moundridge, biggest lead of the night. Churchill ties Dixon now. 1 point left, blocked by Churchill. What a way to end the half. Moundridge is coming out hot in these last 2 minutes. As we'll be back for action of the second half here on Moundridge Sports Network. 27-29, 55 left to go before we resume action. We'll be back. And we welcome you back here on Moundridge Sports Network for action of the Berean versus Moundridge matchup here. Pretty close game. Moundridge came out with some strong momentum. Modelmog has this now, puts one up, and will go to the line for 2. Some would call him a free throw merchant, and some would call him just a good basketball player. As Modelmog goes to the line with 2 points tonight, looking to make this 4, and will not score on that one. Berean doing an excellent job on face guarding Modelmog, as that one is good. He goes to 3 tonight. Back around top, here is Balzer. Back over now. Sweezy has this to Kukula. Kukula to Geiger. Nold now. Over top, and they will call a foul on Geiger. It's his second personal. Churchill back over here to Modelmog. Modelmog back to Hecox. Hecox looking into Knitz to Churchill. Churchill puts that in and goes through. Churchill now leads the team in scoring tonight. Up top and over, he goes through and will travel. That's number 20, Harrison Geiger, who just had the offensive foul last possession. Churchill down to Knitz. Knitz to Dixon. Dixon thinks about it, decides not to. Hecox now over to Churchill. Looking. Here is Kukula now. Kukula over to Sweezy. Sweezy gets Dixon to jump. Goes up strong and will go to the line for 2. Dixon now. That'll be his first personal. Dixon now in trouble, finds a cutting Knitz. Knitz takes a dribble, steps up, gives this down to Modelmog, who has 3 tonight. Modelmog takes a contested 3-ball. Wow, that was a pretty big shot there from Modelmog. Contested 3, man in your hand, right in his face. Back over, Kukula drives inside, looks to pass this one out, and will get called a foul is Hecox. Kukula looking. Finds Sweezy for a short corner jumper, and that one is just off the lip of the rim. Berean starting to kind of run out of gas here. These cats are so well conditioned. Knitz flies up, passes one off of the glass to Dixon. Dixon on the board with 8 now. Back around here. Driving inside is Nord. Nord gonna throw this straight to Dixon. Dixon running whole head of steam. Takes a dribble, puts one up, and will get called for a charge. His charge set by Emery Kukala. Jansen over to Balzer. Balzer back around to Unruh, and Unruh will throw that one out, and head coach Mark Wiebe is not happy. Knitz walks it up and hands it to Hecox. Hecox back to Schmidt. Schmidt throws to Model in triple coverage, and he shoots back out, takes a step back triple, and then rattles the room and out. Rebounded by Knitz. He tries to find Adolph. Adolph can't get it to go, so he brings it back out. Adolph still looking, finds Schmidt at the top of the wing. Hecox spins around, triple coverage, throws one up, and will get called for the foul, and will go to the line for 2. Foul is on number 22, Jace Unruh. It's his first personal. As Hecox's first is good. Hecox has 5 tonight. Hecox at the line again. And that one is good. Hecox, great free throw shooter. 18 for 24 coming into tonight. That's a solid 75%. As Balzer couldn't find anyone, is going to find Sweezy. Keppel Adolph closely guarding him. Just a spark plug off of the bench. So athletic. Inside now. Sweezy whips around down to Balzer. Balzer thinking. Balzer still looking, closely guarded by Adolph. Kukala now has Knitz on him, so a switch off happened at some point there. Inside here, and long bouncing pass from Unruh. Kukala now to Unruh. Long offensive possessions here are Berean's favorite thing. Down and around, rebounded by Kukala. Kukala throws one up to Adolph, and a contact play there from Balzer, and foul will be on Adolph, as that'll be his 3rd personal. As Lutz comes in for the first time tonight. as Balzer's first is good. So 37-22, 2:37 left to go. Balzer's second is good. Monomark trying something, just made a contested 3 earlier in the third. Coming out into the half with 2 points. Lutz takes a Euro, stepping through, spins around, and Schmidt will be called for the foul. Kugler will check out. At the line is Alex Jidson. Driving inside is Adolph, puts up a high arcing layup, and that one is off. Balzer with the rebound. Inside, down and around, misses a travel call here. As missing shot as Wyatt frees in, and another offensive rebound for Berean. As Jansen's free throw is no good. Adolph now to Lutz. Lutz back around. Lutz drives through, finds Churchill. Churchill over to Dixon. Dixon now to Adolph. Adolph firing down to Churchill. Churchill back to Modelmog. Back to him. Adolph in trouble here. Dead ball. Throws one up to Modelmog. He drives through, finds Lutz on a corner. Lutz thinks about it, steps back down to Modelmog. Cats taking their time with some nice ball movement. Modelmog pump faking through, has a tough defender on him. Churchill now. Over, puts a bump, and will get called for a charge. It's Churchill's second personal. Jansen trying to find something. Will find Nord. Nord back out to Unruh. He pump fakes, drives through, puts one up. Lutz is blocked, and Adolph with the rebound. Adolph drives through before coming back out. Finds Modelmog one-on-one. Over on top, Modelmog tries to save it, throws it up, and Berean ball. 3.0 seconds on the clock. Third quarter, Berean in the double bonus. And a high arcing shot that counts, and Berean will go into the second, into the fourth with some momentum. As this place is erupting for a chance at a t-shirt. As coming back at you with fourth quarter action, Moundridge up by 9. Little bit of a lackadaisical game. Inside here to Sweezy. Sweezy shifts around. Modomog comes through. He puts one up, contested, and it's good. He's on the board with 10, the leading scorer in tonight's game. Dixon has it, closely guarded by Sweezy. 7-point ball game in the fourth. Churchill back to Knitz. Knitz down to Dixon. Dixon thinks about it and intercepted by Kukula. Kukula drives down, loses the ball, picked up by Jensen and throws it away off of the hands of Harrison Geiger. Inside now, Churchill thinks about going to save it before Hecox lets it out. Dixon bump fakes, and they will call that on the floor as a flop from number 44, Nolan Sweezy. Dixon goes to the line and will score. Dixon now with 11. (40 to 30), 10-point game here. 6:39 left to go. As Moundridge's last 3 games have all been pretty close. Eked out a win against Heston, and then escaped with a win against Garden Plain, 49-41. Huge shot here from Nord, and that one is good. Nord now with 8 points. Dixon back around to Modomog. Modomog shifts around as that one's going to be tipped out of bounds. Moundridge ball. Hecox back up to Knitz. Knitz drives through. They will call that on the foul, on the floor, excuse me, with a foul. On number 12, Silas Nord. 9-point lead now. Pretty big moment of basketball there. Churchill tips that one through. 5:05 left to go in the fourth, 44-35. Just timeout, Moundridge. Full timeout. So welcome you back to Berean versus Moundridge. 9-point game here as Berean looking to take advantage of a tired Cats defense. Lots of bodies flying around. Jansen over, spins around, puts a high arcing layup up, and it is good. Churchill now closely guarded. One now, let's go in the fourth, 44-37. Swayze picks up the foul. Dixon on the board with 11. That's the most of the Cats here, but Nolan Swayze has 14 tonight. Knetz now over to Adolph. Adolph back around, puts one up, trying to flop his Berean, try to get any kind of calls they need. Schmidt misses one, rebounded by Swayze. 3:41 now left to go in the fourth, 44-37. Hecox back around, closely guarded by Kukula. Adolph now puts one up right over top, and that one is rebounded by Berean. Moundridge is in at crunch time here. Berean has got a whole head of steam. I think a three-pointer would make this gym absolutely erupt for both sides. Kukula trying to find something. Hecox bats it away, falling on it is Berean, and they will call that Moundridge ball after almost calling it Berean ball. Knitz walks up the floor, crossing the 3-minute mark. Wide out, Modomog 3 ball, and they will call that something. Not sure what the call was there, but Modomog's out the line again. Goes 2 for 2. 46-37. Knitz looking, post up top, Modomog. Step back 3 from Modomog, and that one is just off the lip of the iron. Rebounded by Kukula. Kukula back around, jumps up, hands down to Swayze. Swayze over. Finding something. Knitz, great defense again. We'll call a foul on Schmidt. 2:14 left to go. Berean in a little bit of crunch time here. Needs to get some shots up. Back up and swirls the iron and no good. Rebounded by Schmidt. And Modomog takes it up. Wouldn't be shocked if the Cats try to eat a little clock here, as a matchup with Berean is always a fun one. And shifting down here is Silas Nord, who steals it, takes a short corner jumper, and that one is off. A little bit of a wasted chance there. Timeout. Knitz, that'll be a full timeout by head coach Dustin Knitz. Talk it over with his fellas with 1:38 left to go in the fourth. Close to a 9-point game. Knitz now looking for Maltamag, back to him. Knitz makes him stumble a little bit before losing the ball. Knitz has had a great game. A lot of inside assists and rebounds that don't get shown a lot, as he cucks. Spins around looking over for Schmidt, and a foul on Berean. As Schmidt's first is good. Kukala with the rebound. 111 here, 10-point game. Time is now for Berean. Puts up a deep corner three, and it's good. Timeout, Berean. Big shot there from number 20, Harrison Geiger. He cocks back around looking for Maltamag, and he will. Maltamag with 10, and despite having 2 just in the first half. 47 seconds left as Kukala will foul when he wasn't trying to. Not sure how that happened as Kukala, and that will be his 3rd personal. Maltamag's first is good. High arcing shot there is off. 9-point game. Churchill with it. Throws a skip pass down to Schmidt. Schmidt has this one. He tries to escape the foul but can't. 29.8 now left to go. Moundridge in the double bonus. As Schmidt's second, is good, so he's a 5 tonight. Driving through, big time shot here is off. He cocks with a big block, and they will call that a foul. His first is off. That's number 24, Wyatt Friesen. Friesen's second is good. 20.2 left to go. As that'll probably do it if they decide to foul again, which I'm not sure why, considering they're down 11, or 10, excuse me, with 11.9. As Churchill will go to the line again. Moundridge will improve to 14-0, riding hot, approaching Churchill misses both. He gets this, steals it back. Madama goes through the line, and they will not call a foul. He gets jumped by 3 defenders. Through the lane, and huge block from Churchill, and that'll do it. 51-41, your final score. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to let us know how good we're doing. And Moundridge will move to 14-0, and we'll be back for at Berean on the 7th of February.